and welcome to Eminence Welcome to Eminence Unfiltered Part 26. We always introduce the best speakers from the pharma and the healthcare industry to you, and today also we have a very special guest, Dr. Omar Aimer from ISoP. And now to tell you more about him, not that he needs any introduction, but he has 18 plus years of experience in pharmacovigilance, in quality assurance, in risk management, in the hospital environment, in the regulatory bodies, as well as in the pharma industry as well. And along with that, he has a parallel experience for 11 years as a professor in the university as well for pharmacovigilance. So we will talk more about PV and also about leadership skills and how he manages his work-life balance with his hobbies, so much of travel and conferences. Thank you very much for this podcast today, Dr. Aimer. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
That's really good. And let me first of all thank you very much and thank Rushali that she brought you here for this podcast. It's really going to add a great value to the audience. Thank you very much for your time today.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Great. How was your journey, by the way?
Good. Yeah, 12 hours flight.
Right, but means the time mismatch, does it work with you, agree with you?
Working on a global scale, I mean, yeah, we are used to it.
So you're also living off the hotel rooms and the airport too?
Oh, yes, yeah, different continents, different, like I guess like you, I mean.
Yes, indeed. Okay. So today's schedule, the reason we do this podcast is that to inspire the aspiring leaders who want to grow in the industry, and they also want to know about the leaders, who they really are behind the whole facade, who they are as person, what are their hobbies, how did they venture into it. So let me ask you the first question. How did you venture into pharmaceutical and pharmacovigilance?
Oh, yes, it's a known story that I shared with my network,
Okay.
with my some friends as well. So yeah, there's always a story behind what we are doing with a passion.
Right.
Yeah. So when I opened my eyes when I was a kid, my father has hypertension.
Okay.
Yeah, I was his little pharmacist. So I was his, because he was very busy. He just gave me the responsibility to remind him about his treatment. So at what time he should take this pill, take this his treatment, antihypertensive. And first I was like with the schedule, as you mentioned, to this today, and then I was growing on this responsibility, but more interested in his treatment.
Okay.
In what are those medicines, why he is taking these medicines.
Wow.
So the responsibility, but I was curious about the posology, about the indication, about the adverse drug reactions. And with 40 years with the antihypertensive treatment, he ended up with adverse drug reactions known for some of these medicines.
I hope not severe.
Severe, but it was like natural outcome,
Okay.
which was renal failure and
Yes.
cardiac failure as well.
Okay.
And yeah, but I found myself as a pharmacist helping my father, but also helping the patients, and that's why I have the passion to support patients in their journey, in their treatment journey as well.
This is such a beautiful story. I didn't know. That means there is such a deep reason. So early stage, the way you had to manage your father's medicines kind of intrigued you. You started reading up, and now you want to support everybody else. And
Exactly.
that's very
Yeah.
noble of you. And so this is the reason that pharmacovigilance is the forefront of the patient safety, and you chose pharmacovigilance.
Yeah, exactly. To support also, yeah, the patient, the support their to hear their struggles, uh, for the treatment, for the outcome of their disease,
Right.
but also the quality, the quality of their life, where when they are receiving these medicines, not only the pharmaceuticals or the drugs, but also the medical devices,
Right.
which are not also more used nowadays.
Right, right. That's really great. And pharmacovigilance, actually, I read a report few days back about how much difference it makes when PV can actually get the data and get the corrections done as well. I was looking at one of the drug dependency catharsis of opioids.
Yes.
And a lot of drugs were not even identified as opioids. And I think that pharmacovigilance kind of is in the forefront on working on that as well. I read that report. That was
Yes, exactly. This is one of the examples that are also timely examples. We are talking about the yeah, opioids and the safety in this topic.
right,
But I always, when I try to, and when I explain what is the PV, what is safety, and we're saying always safety first.
right,
So we should be at the forefront first. The second is that safety benefits for not only for the patient,
right,
which is also our ultimate goal, but it benefits to the healthcare professional,
right,
to the prescribers, to the pharmacist. Imagine when patients, they are giving us their life
right,
and they trust us
right,
and they are asking questions. And if I'm a pharmacist or a nurse or medical doctor, and you have been asked questions about, sorry, about the adverse events, about also the misinformation that is around,
right.
uh, they need to understand.
Yes,
And then the healthcare professionals, they need to have the answers for these questions
absolutely.
about safety more, because people are struggling about the safety of this product because of the information, because of the social media, because of the pandemic that we had 4 years ago or 5 years ago. And this is very important. So we are supporting also healthcare professionals in the decision making, also about, and we can talk a lot about pharmacogenomics, about what is the most effective but also safe
Right.
product for them.
Right. So your passion for drug safety and efficacious results from the patient, how does ISoP help you to groom and cascade more information to more people?
Yes, it's a great question. I mentioned the curiosity.
Right.
And the curiosity is a fuel to learn more. And this is a field that is evolving, and we are talking about advanced therapeutics or advanced therapies. Uh, so yeah, I like when they present me as an expert.
Okay.
Maybe I'm expert today, but maybe not tomorrow, because the field of
It's
pharmaceutical
evolving.
industry is
Right.
evolving,
Right.
not only every day, but every hour.
Right. Right.
And so we need to be on top and up to date on all this information.
Yes.
ISoP is a very good platform, and we are now also we are in a global context. We are learning from others as well. We are learning from our experience, but we learn also from other leaders.
Right.
And I think that it's very important sharing experience. So when we try to, and I try to find a platform or a forum where I'll be happy to share what I learned,
Right.
but also to like give and back, take and give back.
Right.
Having and knowing and learning from others' experience.
Right.
And I think that ISoP, as a scientific and non-for-profit organization, on top of that, the reference in pharmacovigilance is a good forum for that.
Right. And I understand that you have tied up for the research purposes with a lot of academics backgrounds with a lot of universities as well. I know for a fact that you are associated with my city's Bombay College of Pharmacy as well. So how does that work out for you, the research with the academics?
Yes, it's a great question again, and just also going back to the basics and the definition and the official definition of pharmacovigilance, which is the definition of the WHO, the World Health Organization. Pharmacovigilance is a science and activities
Right.
to detect, to collect, to understand, to assess, and to prevent any problem related to healthcare products.
Right.
So I like that we highlight and we start with the science.
Right.
So pharmacovigilance is a science and activities. And when it comes to science, the research is here, and the universities worldwide, in North America, in Europe, in different regions, in India, there's researchers that are working to understand the origin of those adverse events and how to overcome,
Right.
how to ease or how to minimize those adverse events, to minimize the risks for a better quality of life and the quality management of the treatment for patients.
All right. Okay. So, what's your opinion on the young pair of eyes that you have in universities? Means apart from the professors and the researchers, the young blood that is bringing in a different perspective as well. So, have you seen any sort of shift where you get a lot of new ideas and research for PV from the young people as well?
Yes. So I think it's important, and also because we're not eternal, so we need to
Groom them.
to groom them, also to mentor them.
Right.
I really believe, and I'm launching also in the North American chapter of ISoP an ambitious program, mentorship program,
Okay.
because also, as I mentioned, I joined to learn from others and to share also my experience, what I know at least.
Right.
And I know that some of members, but this is common to the PV field, to the pharmaceutical field, people are joining those forums to share, but also to network,
Right.
to learn the hard skills, but also the soft skills.
Right.
And I see the members joining, but we need also to meet their expectations.
Correct.
They are expecting to learn the science, but also to learn the skills,
Right.
and to upscale their skills in what is needed in the PV, pharmacovigilance, in the safety, the drug safety space.
So can I say ISoP's motto is that even if we are not there tomorrow, the work should continue?
Yes, yeah,
should
yeah,
continue.
yeah, exactly. And I think, I'm pretty sure that it's important to get the next generation ready for the leadership.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is very well said. And apart from the research with the academics and the researchers and grooming the younger blood as well, and spreading more information about PV and bringing in difference, how else ISoP cater to bigger crowd? Means I believe you do conferences as well,
Exactly.
correct? Right?
Yes.
So can you tell me more about it?
Yes. So what I always say about pharmacovigilance and about safety.
Right.
The safety in general, safety in aviation,
Right.
safety in healthcare, safety in the safety, that is a daily struggle.
Right.
We are assessing risks. The safety in the cars. We are checking the brakes. We have a lot of features now, more and more in our dashboards.
Right.
We have the seat belts. We have different safety that are part of our environment, but
Correct.
we get used to them.
Right, right. After
So
a while, means the newer people.
yes, very important. So the safety, we are learning from, we advancing the safety, which is unfortunate sometimes, only when we have a tragedy.
Right,
Like in aviation, we learn more when we have crashes.
right.
Hopefully will not have anymore. In the automotive industry,
Right.
the same, but also in the healthcare, when we have tragedies like the thalidomide in the 60s of the last century, when we had for the medical devices the PIP tragedy, breast implants tragedy in Europe, that triggered the European medical device regulation. So the field is evolving when there's a tragedy or when we are hit by a pandemic. For the
Right.
COVID-19 also we had like more awareness.
Right.
So we have tragedies, and we have the others on the other side, the awareness, raising awareness,
Right.
educating the professionals, healthcare professionals, educating patients, and educating also the caregivers about the burden, and sometimes also educating the government
Correct.
that the adverse drug reactions has an economic burden on the healthcare and the public healthcare. And that's why also ISoP is now a reference
Right.
in providing these recommendations and to raise awareness by organizing these events and trainings
Right.
globally.
Right. And people can access this information on your site as well about the regulations that they have to. Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
That
so
is
there's public access information,
right.
but also there's accessibility for our members
All right.
to benefit our
Deep dive.
deep
Right.
dive here,
Right.
and they can not only be receiving the training,
Right.
but they are able also to share and to participate in the organization of
That's
these
wonderful.
events.
Right, right. That's really wonderful. And about ISoP, I have asked you a lot of questions, but I also want to ask you one more before we talk about your hobbies
Okay.
and leadership skills. I want to know that means how you think in future the PV professionals can encourage the patients to report upfront without waiting. We know that means when the tragedy hits or some disaster happens, that's when the reporting comes. But usually for minor side effects or if everything is all right, all those kind of reports do not really get generated. People do not take that action upfront. Do you think it can change in future?
It can make the a transition for the next questions. We need to have a strategic thinking skill,
Right.
and we need to adapt with the tools that we have around.
Right.
And we are shifting in using AI, using social media, different channels that we had before. I remember, I'm not that old, but yeah, using the faxes, moving and traveling from a location to another to raise the awareness. Now we have a different tools. We have that we are doing the
Right.
podcast.
Right.
We have trainings. We have remote or hybrid possibilities, social media,
Right.
to share and to raise this awareness.
Right.
So we need to adapt with the young and the next generation that maybe understand more than us
Right.
how the world is evolving and shifting
Right.
to other tools. So I think that yeah, it's an evolving field for the nowadays that we are living and for the future as well.
All right. So, are there any sort of gatherings that happen only for the professionals, the decision, the change makers? Any gatherings where they meet and they decide that how they can increase this data, how they can promote more people reporting it in future? Any such thing happens?
Yes, so we have different levels at the International Society of Pharmacovigilance. We have the regional level, and based on the location, we have the chapters.
Right.
The North American chapter, we have the European chapter, we have the Middle East chapter, and we are based we are in Dubai, so we have different chapters. Africa chapter,
Right.
India chapter. And this is regional, just also to allow the professionals in the same location with the same interests, with different struggles that are not, the challenges in North America are not the same in Africa, and vice versa as well. We can learn also from other chapters, but let's say on chapters level, but we have another layer or another level that is special interest group, that people are gathering under one topic. Women medicines safety,
Right.
or the safety of women medicines, the herbal medicines safety, medical device safety, risk communication. So like really deep diving
Layers of, yes.
and very specific topic.
Right.
With the interest for people, eco-pharmacovigilance, which is the latest, and people are interested in this, the eco-pharmacovigilance, because we, just as an example, the waste of the industry, which is a fact, is thrown into the rivers or in the environment, that goes into fish or into the plants,
Right.
that we are,
Harmful.
we are consuming,
Right.
and we can have adverse events,
Right.
not from the medicines directly,
Right.
but from other
Or other elements.
products. Yeah.
Correct. Correct. No, I agree with you. That does make a lot of sense. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We sometimes know such things, but we don't see it in that direction unless someone points it out. So it does make a lot of sense. And okay, so let me ask you about this leadership. And to begin that, a lot of people, they have very good content when they have to speak at a conference. They are very well aware of what they have to say. But the moment they go on the stage presence is missing, that key leadership skill which is required, the demand from the crowd which is required, the attention is missing. You do it all the time and you do it wonderfully. So what do you think that means, people are missing, and how they can overcome those fears to be on the stage?
Yeah, thank you. It's a great question. Even though, yeah, I mean, we always have this we should have a stress that pushes us to be more prepared.
Right.
But not too many just to lose the control on the stage. I think that the first thing is knowing the topic,
Right.
having the knowledge and the expertise. Expertise doesn't mean only theoretical, but also
Applied at some
with life, with an experience.
Right.
We were talking on the CAR-T or different different topics today. You know, the experiences, the experience in the field with hands-on
Experience.
yeah, experience is very important. The second one, and this is what I'm always before going and yeah to and participating or presenting, is knowing the audience.
Right.
Very important as well, because as we are involved globally, presenting in North America is little different than presenting in Africa, and vice versa. I mean, it's the socio-cultural yeah
Obligations, or
yeah
you can say yes.
of the audience,
Right.
knowing the audience, their background as
Right. Kind of
well.
matching the pace of the audience and
Exactly.
yes.
And also assessing, and we are assessing every time,
Right.
assessing their expectations, why they are here, what they are expecting to have as information. And yeah, I think that, yeah, being prepared, having the expertise, the hands-on experience, knowing the audience, the market, the region, is a must, yeah.
Right, right. That makes sense. And in general as well. Now, when you grew to be here, it's a step-by-step procedure, right? So, what is it that you would like to tell our aspiring leaders that what all they should do? What is the key to be a good leader and how to be there?
Yeah, I can say that uh, in life there's a plenty of and opportunities. What I believe is that you should go to the opportunities. Never you will receive the opportunities. It's rare that someone will come to your office and knock, or at home, now that we are working
Hand
from
it
home,
over.
and knock, or sending, like, without any visibility, sending you an email asking you to come to learn, to share, to present. So I think, yeah, I started by moving and going to the opportunities, like in a small area, and know if you are you yeah, if you share that there's an opportunity in a region, like, yeah, 12, like we are doing now, 12 hours flight,
Right,
I'll be coming,
right.
because yeah, I need to go to the opportunity. The
Absolutely.
opportunity is also the networking and learning from others. Sometimes I believe also learning from books, learning from podcasts, learning, for which is important, but learning from
In person.
in person, very important, and knowing the person, it's very important, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I would totally agree to this point. And in fact, we also try to share as much as possible virtually, complimentary to people. We don't charge anybody, because when it is in person, then a lot of things are involved, the hotel cost, the flight cost, and all of that, then it becomes a certain cost. But otherwise, the learning should never stop. And I would totally agree to your point. And a lot of people actually think the leaders are very uptight. According to them, they probably sleep in the suits and they just, breathing fire if something goes wrong. So we try to break this myth with this podcast by knowing more about you. If you can tell me more about your hobbies as well.
First, traveling.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
so
right.
I had the opportunity again to work in North Africa, from where I am, to in Europe, and I lived more than a decade in France, in Paris, and then always. So yeah, I moved also to
That's how your
Canada.
French were good. You were talking to Noza, and I was listening to you, and I was like, oh my God, he speaks really fluent
Arabic,
Spanish.
French, and
French, yes.
English. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and, I mean, it's a second language in Algeria,
All right.
where from where I am. It's the first language in France, of course.
All
It's obvious, and it's also it's a language in Montreal, where I'm based now,
Oh, yes.
with the English.
Yes.
So yeah.
Right. Right. All right. Okay. So, with your traveling hobby and now working with ISoP and working for the passion that you have for patient safety and efficacious results from the medicine, don't you think that means somewhere down the line your hobbies also play a very important role in what you're doing today?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because the openness when we are traveling and when we are traveling, uh, we are discovering that the people in the other region, in the other country, are as great as we are,
Absolutely.
and they have they have also the knowledge. They have other knowledge than different than our, but an amazing knowledge and an amazing culture. And I really believe, and as I worked in, and as I lived also in three continents, and traveled a lot, I know that, yeah, I don't have frontiers in my mind. No countries, no frontiers. We are all the same. We have the same
Yes.
almost challenges. We have the, yeah. So I think that,
Travel
and
does that.
this leverage my collaboration. And we were talking about the collaboration, the openness to move things forward with
Right.
others, because we cannot do it only ourselves. Yeah.
Right. Traveling does that to you. Change your perspective. Rather than being the frog of the pond, you become the whale of the big ocean and makes you a better person. I would agree to that. So, yes, traveling. Any other hobbies that means,
Yeah, I have some other hobbies. I'm playing soccer
oh, wow.
with friends
That explains the
every,
fitness. All right.
yes, yes, every Saturday.
All right.
Soccer is a team work or team. So yeah, being leading in soccer, sometimes also
Being a team player.
yeah, leading,
Right.
yeah, being a team player is very important. This is a skill that is transferable from PV, from the industry to the hobby,
Right.
and vice versa,
Yes.
from soccer to the PV.
All right. So I would say that passion for the drug safety and working with ISoP to spread more information, traveling, and your soccer, all of this combined is a very good recipe of being a very good leader because it teaches you time management, teaches you to be a good team player, and gives you leadership qualities as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, I'm a happy father of three kids.
Wow. All right.
So I'm leading a family.
All right.
I'm raising a new generation, and also, yeah, a happy husband as well. And it's always great to work with. And I mean, again, with my wife, I know the value that women, and I have two daughters as well, is helping in shifting and in empowering the industry as well. And if you noticed, and we are noticing that in healthcare, it's 80%, 70% women,
Right.
30% men, and it's really an opportunity to work in this environment as well.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That begs me to a question. This is the second last question, I promise you. After that, I have the final question because this conversation is very intriguing. How do you manage the work and life balance?
Yeah, this is a great question, and yeah, very important. Being organized, being organized in my time between work, traveling for work because I'm traveling alone, but also traveling and giving time for the family is very important.
Right.
It's about the experience. I lost my both parents passed away, and I really missed them. And when I missed them, I run to my kids just for, again, giving them the opportunity to take more time with me
Right.
and with my wife as well.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. And our last question before I let you go and explore more of Dubai, though you've been here several times, but with friends, it's a different story all the time.
Exactly.
So this podcast is not only for healthcare, pharma, and pharmacy people, but it is also viewed by several university students and professors as well. So any message that you would like to convey to those kids who are yet to start their career fresh out of college, what advice would you like to give them?
The first advice is learning and work for their passion, because when have when we love something, or when we cherish something, we don't count, you know. And I don't feel the burden in working, even we're talking about the life balance, work-life balance, but working in and doing our passion as a work, uh, it's a fuel. Having the passion is a fuel in succeeding.
Right.
And also thinking to have an impact of what we are doing. Like I mentioned, having an impact on the life or quality of life or quality of healthcare of patients. So, like an example, I remember that um, we, um, we developed, and we were involved in developing, in launching a product. And the first patient that received in one market a product, uh, this patient received the product, and 3 months after, which was like a life-threatening condition, but they received the product, and 3 months after, they got married.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So I see that being involved in the providing the life,
Right. The genuine care.
genuine
Right.
care, is to giving hope
Right.
to the patient.
Right.
And this patient can be someone that we don't know, but can be me, can be yeah,
It
one
kind
of
of
our.
always come back to you. Even if
Exactly.
you give it to somebody else, somehow it will
Yeah.
find a different route to come back to you.
And this is why I'm talking about the impact of what we are doing.
Right, right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Omar. I'm glad that you could make time for us and give this wonderful podcast that is going to reach a lot of people. Thank you once again.
You're welcome. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Today we have Dr. Omar Aimer with us. You will learn a lot about it, means go through all the content. If you have further questions for Dr. Omar, please write down, mention it in the comments below, or you reach out to me directly and we will get those answered for you. Thank you very much. See you next Wednesday.